Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything coming at you with another one of our Let's Talk D&D 5e. In today's episode, what we're going to be talking about is leveling and experience points and leveling up. Now, if you've never come out and seen any of my videos, Let's Talk D&D videos, you need to come out and check out all the videos. They're very helpful, and what they're geared towards is helping dungeon masters level up their games, making their games a little bit more exciting, a little bit more fulfilling, and giving you ideas on alternatives to what's actually printed in the books. Also, we're going to talk about what is printed in the books and let you make your own decisions, maybe enhance your game. You can take this or leave it, but I appreciate you coming out and checking out these videos. Really do appreciate all the comments and support that I've received, donations for the channel, all of that. Super excited. Let's start by saying I love D&D 5th edition. I've played a lot of editions. I've played AD&D. They all have advantages and disadvantages. D&D 5e is probably the best version. Taken a lot of good things from other versions, gotten rid of most of the bad stuff, kept all the good stuff. But when we get to, here it comes, dropping the hammer, but the leveling system sucks. It's the worst. Maybe 4th edition might have been the worst, but no, it's the worst. Let's talk a little bit about D&D and leveling, right? Your characters level up when they reach certain milestones of experience points. Okay, in D&D, 300 experience points gets you to your next level, your second level. You go from first, as soon as you get 300 experience points, boom, you are second level. And then what? More than 900 after that, you multiply it by 3. Pretty much multiplied by 3. So 3, 9, 27. When you obtain that many experience points, you level. Your character becomes the next level. Basically, you level up. Little flash of light, bing, and everybody in the chat says, "Grats!" No, but that's not what I'm talking about. It's not an MMO. So when you level up, you get more hit points. You get more chances to, you get bonuses. Some classes have a lot of different abilities that you might get. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about experience points. Okay, experience points in D&D 5e and how many you need to go up a level, or just leveling in general, sucks. And the reason why I say this, I know you heard me say it already, but why do I say this? 300 experience points? Really? Let me pull out my player's handbook. Player's handbook. It should be like, yeah. To get to second level, 300 experience points? Really? I'm going to pull 7th level out. 7th level. 7th level. 23,000 experience points? Really? Really? What are they thinking? Okay. Not just that. I'm playing 2nd edition AD&D, right? I'm playing Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. I'm in high school, right? Me and my buddies get together every week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. I'm being legit. We play D&D, not a whole long time, maybe 2 hours, We're not really good at it. We're doing a lot of dungeon crawling. We're doing a lot of fighting. We're not really, role-playing characters. Lots of encounters. Lots of monsters being fought. I remember running a game in high school with like 3 or 4 of my friends. We played for a whole year. I remember we played a year, and we played 2 or 3 times a week. Yes, we were nerds. We were the chess club. We were the geeks. we played 2 to 3 times a week, times 52 times. We're going to say about 152 sessions. Now, because they're only 2-hour sessions, we can break it down and say they were half sessions. Okay, so 70 sessions. 70. If full sessions, approximately. I'm just throwing approximate numbers out there. And the highest level that I had ever seen anybody in my game make was 7th level. 7 after a year. And these guys struggled. I mean, you know, they overcome obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, and then boom, a second level would hit, and they would be like, yes, we made a new level. It was a big deal. It became like a reward. It was like, wow, we got a level. Really, it happened. 3rd level, wow. 4th level, wow. You know, that kind of stuff. Okay, now let's back this up. Now we're playing 5th edition. We're loving the game. It's cruising along. Almost. Now I'm going to say this. Almost every session, and these sessions have been anywhere between 4 to 6 hours. Every session, they're gaining a level. They're all leveling up. We play our first session. Fight a few kobolds. 300 experience points later, they're all leveled up. That's one night, one game. Second game, they go mess around in some caves, leveled up. Third night, what do? Mess around in some caves, because the second night was actually Raiders, Bandit hideout. But the third night, they raided some caves, leveled up. 4th night, 5th night, leveled up. 6th night, 7th night, leveled up. 8th, 9th, leveled up, right? So, well, 8th and 9th, okay. So they've leveled up. They're currently sitting at 7th level? 7th level. They went to 6th level at the start of the game. They went to 7th level at the end of the game. There was actually, I had 2 levelings in one night. And that's me just going straight out of the book, just saying, I'm going to run this game pure, and we're going to experience the game as it was intended, and we're going to see how it is. And I have come to the conclusion that I do not like the experience point system. I do not like the leveling up. I know I've talked to you here about this, but let me say this. In 2nd edition, to get to 7th level, it would take 60,000 experience points, not 23,000. So, and it varied based on your class and stuff like that. So it's about 3 times as much. It would take people about 15 to 20 to 2,000, somewhere in there, anywhere between 12 and 2,000 experience points to get to 2nd level. Not 300. What positive impacts do we have with making it so easy to level? Well, it's a symptom of society. Okay, today's society is, I want it now, I'm obligated it, I showed up to the game, so I deserve to be leveled, I deserve this. So the game gives it to them. It allows you as a referee to give them levels, just passing them out like candy. What does it do for the game? What positive things does it do for the game? It makes the players excited because they will be leveling up that night. They know it. I'm going to show up to the game, I'm going to level up. So they know this. But that's also a negative. That's why I think it sucks, because the players expect to be leveling. They don't even have to do anything. Barely. They can attend and level because you don't earn individual experience points anymore. I mean, yes, as a referee, you can technically say, hey, you get a bonus 25 experience points, or you get 100 experience points for that. Nobody does that. All your encounters, you got 15 guys hiding in the corner and one fighter kills all the creatures. Everybody gets the experience points. I like that in the fact that not everybody, the game shouldn't be about fighting, first of all. The game should not be about fighting. It should be about encounters and role playing. I remember somewhere in one of the older books, maybe it was 3.5, it said the appropriate number of encounters, not how much experience points each encounter is, nothing like that. The appropriate number of encounters you should receive is about 14. Once you hit 14 encounters, that's when they should level up. And you should tailor your encounters to match that. Well, in 5th edition, they have something similar to that. It's called the threshold system, or the waypoint system, or I think it's a threshold. What it is when it becomes thematically or theatrically appropriate for your characters to gain a level, the referee just says, everybody's gaining a level. And it has nothing to do with experience points. So you took all the experience points out and just let the referee say, okay, at end of chapter 1, everybody levels. Let's move on to chapter 2. Chapter 2, everybody's done. Level. Whether you... So the problem that I have with that system is, and this is where the 2 levels happened in the night. It's in the Cult of the Dragon Queen, right? We'll get into that when I do the review of that adventure campaign, which is probably the next video actually, because I'm right at the end of the book and I want to just go ahead and knock out the review because I'm close. Let's just say they finished the swamp. I'm not going to get into the details. They finished the swamp, which put them at level 6. Now they were supposed to, or could possibly, fight a troll, fight some paratons, fight a helmed horror, fight some gargoyles, fight like some guards and a wizard, and rescue a dwarf and a cleric, and they fight some kobolds. They can do all of that, right? In this lodge, we'll just say. But instead of doing any of that, well, they did fight the helmed horror. They did accidentally, and that was only because I just said, screw it, the helmed horror is going to attack them. But that had nothing to do with what the players were doing. My players aren't stupid. I mean, they're not idiot players. They're players that do things deliberately and for a reason, and they get into their characters and they role play like why they would be there. They're not going to be there just to kill everything in the lodge. That's not why they're there, and they know that. So they do all this things, and they come face to face with we'll call her the boss, okay, of the lodge, without having really dealt with any of those things I mentioned. And the story is the boss doesn't want to fight, never did want to fight. All she wants to do is convince the players to do something for her. And the players agree instantly. It's like, you don't have to tell us. That's what we're doing anyway. So, so they went straight from the swamp into the lodge. Maybe 2 hours later, struck a deal, left the lodge, and the book says, when leaving her presence, everybody levels up. Because that's the end of the 2nd chapter, or whatever, right? So they went from the swamp, boom, her, boom, level. Again, bullshit. That's bull. That's bull crap. That's bull. Okay. So I said, okay, so I said to myself, I don't really like this threshold system. I love the threshold system in the fact that I don't have to keep track of anything. So it basically makes dungeon mastering easier. Might be one of the reasons why I like D&D 5e. And I'm jumping around on you, I'm sorry. But it makes dungeon mastering easier when I don't have to worry about experience points. But they didn't really do anything to get a free level. You know, it just doesn't make sense that they would have leveled after walking around this castle or this lodge, fought a helmed horror, made an agreement, and left. And then they leveled. That's stupid. That was stupid. They shouldn't have leveled. In one of the previous chapters, way back when, it said, when they do this and this and this in this one area, because it's so short of a time period, there's not going to be a milestone here, so they won't go into level. And my players got into all kinds of trouble in this one little area. They should have leveled there and not over here. So that's really the referee really needs to consider if you want to use a milestone system, and if you do, you got to really be careful on it. So what I did was, the very beginning, because I didn't know which way I wanted to go, at the very beginning of the campaign, the first 3 levels actually, I counted every single experience point, and there were lots of them. I mean, I got 6 people playing in my campaign, so there's lots of people getting experience points. What am I doing? I'm taking what's printed in the books and multiplying it. So instead of encountering 4 kobolds, they were actually encountering 6 kobolds. Make it a challenge, right? And we're going to get into that in just a minute too. So I counted the experience points, and it came out to be almost, not exact, but almost exactly what they needed for a level. Every time it said, this is a milestone, they're going to level. I counted up their points, and I said, yep, that's right. Okay, it's legit. You know, it's like 300 experience points, 900 experience points. It just wasn't very many experience points. So then so at the 3rd level, I said, okay, it's legit. No worries. We're not even going to worry about experience points. We're just going to pretty much know. I take it back. I think I went up to 4th or 5th level, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to use the milestone system because it's taking me forever to count up all these points. Really? 2 levels in one night, not for doing anything? If I kept track of experience points, they would not, if I did not use the milestone system, if I was using the experience point system, they should not have leveled up. They should not have leveled up. And even if they should, they shouldn't have. So, but knowing that this is a scripted campaign and that there are certain threatening adversaries that are coming up in the next chapter, they needed to level up, right? So, because I feel like that module, we'll get to that when I do that video, but I do think it force feeds the referee into speeding things along. So you actually get from 1st to 15th level pretty quick. You could probably run both those books in 6 months. And I'm talking about players playing from 1st level to 15th level in 6 months. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That should never, ever happen. And why do I say that? Why do I say it should never happen? Well, you want to give your players a challenge. You want to make it hard to get a level, because that way when they do get the level, they'll be like, wow, we've accomplished something. I've actually leveled up. Not, so, I leveled up. Yeah, I leveled up. I leveled 3 times this week. It's no big deal. No, it is a big deal. It should be a major deal. It should be like, man, I've been fighting this, man, boom, and the referee goes, you know, you leveled up, and you go like, whoa, I get a second attack. Oh my God. changes the world. Or the wizard goes, whoa, I get new spells. Okay, so, but if you just go, oh, by the way, Mike, you're leveling up tonight. Okay, cool, I get a couple of new spells, big deal, whatever. That's what I feel like they babied it down. They nerfed experience, because when you just give away experience, not experience points, but the levels, when you give away the levels, or you make the level capping so low, like 300 points, you're making it too easy for the players. You're making it definitely making it easier for the referees by having the milestone system, but you're making it too easy for the players to level. So what I've thought about doing, and I've really contemplated this hard. I mean, I contemplated, I postulated, but no, I really thought about this. And I've been thinking about it for a couple of weeks now. I'm not going to ruin the campaign. I'm not going to change anything for this campaign. I'm going to push everything along. We're going to finish this campaign. It's going to be over. And then I'm going to kill the characters off. I'm not going to kill them off, but they're all going to retire. We're going to make new characters. First level. With a new rule. I think I'm going to go with, I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to make it too crazy, but it is going to be crazy. 1,000 experience points for second level. Then 3,000 experience points for third level, right? 1, okay, 0, 1,000, 3,000, 9,000, 27,000, 60,000, okay? And it might tweak it down a little bit, maybe go 900, something like that. But what I'm saying is, I'm going to make it considerably higher experience points to go up a level. So I feel that, yes, I'll still level players up. It'll just be a little bit slower. So they won't make 15th level in 6 months. It'll take 18 months. What does that do as a referee for your campaign? It extends your campaign, because you don't want your players to be 20th or 30th level or whatever, unless you just really want to do that. You write a story usually for your characters to go through, and then once they get to a certain point, it's time to retire their characters. I can see, like, you want to play with your friends for a long time. You do, and you write this one adventure, and players like playing their characters, and they really get into their characters, and then they pick up that +1 magic sword, and they go, wow, I've got this +1 magic sword. Oh yes, but guess what? You're retired. No, they hate that. I personally, as a referee, hate that. I want my players to be able to continue to play and continue to play and continue to play. And I can't do that if I'm leveling them up too fast, because I feel like I'm working you out of my system. It's like I'm leveling you up so that I can flush you and get a new group of characters. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to say, I'm going to hold on to you guys. I like these characters. I want you to progress in my campaign. I want you to learn all that you can. That's another thing. The adventures that I've ran so far have been very, not cookie cutter, that's not the word I'm looking for, very vanilla, okay? It's like, grab the scroll, kill the orc, bring the sword back, turn it in, get the gem, to go kill this kobold that gives, and it's pretty, like, straightforward. This will have to come with me creating my own campaign. Is like, I'll have this orc band, players will have to go deal with it more than once. Maybe go over here and over there and over there, and then they level up. Not, you go fight them over here, now you level up. You go over here and fight them, and now you level up. Hate that. You do this, and you do that, and then you do this, and then you do that, and then you level up. And then you go over here, and you do that, and you do this, and you do that, and you do this, then you level up. That's the way I want it to be. Now, I can control that. No, now this is the second part of this video. We're talking about monsters and how many experience points they give you when you defeat them. And the word defeat does not mean kill in combat. What that means is you've encountered this creature and you've overcome whatever obstacle that creature has provided you. It could be something as simple as, I'm not going to let you through this gate unless you answer a simple question. You know, what's your favorite color? And you say, red, no blue. Okay. But if you don't get through that, then you don't get the experience points. But if you do answer this complicated question and they say, sure, you can come on through, you've defeated that obstacle, you should get experience points. Everything that you do that you have to overcome something is worth experience points. Referee, you'll have to figure out how many experience points that is. Don't just say, oh, that's level up. No, don't do that. Remember those 4 kobolds I mentioned? We talked about 4 kobolds. I'm going to pull out the monster manual. I'm going to go to kobold. There's a point I want to make. Normally a party of 4 would encounter 4 to 6 kobolds in this first scenario, right? And I leveled it up, and I said, no, it's going to be like 6 to 9. The challenge rating on a kobold is 1/8. 1/8. What that says is that you need 8 kobolds to challenge a first level party of 4 characters. So if I have 8 kobolds in the streets and my party's 6 players, it's not going to be a challenge at all. They're saying right here, in my opinion, what they're basically saying is 1/8 means you have to have 2 of them for every player. I can get that. I can go with that. Okay. So let's say you've got 6 players. So I would have to have 12 of them for it to be challenging. Now, because I've only got 6, it's half challenging. I mean, it's like not even challenging. The players just wade through them. But what's good about that, this comes in the Dragon Queen thing, they have to encounter like 15 different things in the night. So you don't want to make each one deadly. You want to make them minor nuisances, but because there's so many of them, the whole night becomes threatening. Okay, well, let's do the math here. There are 25 experience points apiece. So if you have 8 of them, okay, we're going to go 8. We're going to go with the party of 4, standard party of 4, standard challenge rating thing. If you have 8 of them, that's 200 experience points. Split up amongst the party, that's 50, right? 2 kobolds per player, 50 experience points. So after, in D&D, 5th edition, after 6 encounters of 50 experience points a player, you're at 300 experience points you level up. So what they're saying is a first level player only needs to have 6 encounters with the bare minimum creatures and you level up. No, I understand leveling up fast early is a lot better than leveling up fast late. So if you want to let your first, second, third level characters advance pretty quickly and then slow it down after that, I can get on board with that. I think it should start from ground zero. I think the first level character should slow down. And I understand why they did what they've done with experience points and leveling, because they want to play balance. They want to, they don't want characters to be overpowered. So what they do is they take a lot of the power away from the first level characters and they kind of spread it out amongst second, third, and fourth level characters. And so as you level up, you're really just getting the abilities that you should have had anyway when you were at first level. So I'm kind of saying that they've kind of pushed leveling back a little bit and opened up the first, the first 4 levels are actually your first level characters. but it's still not right in my opinion. Okay. So these guys are playing kobolds, right? They're fighting kobolds at first level. You only need to encounter 12 kobolds to level up. You know, you personally only have to fight 12 kobolds. No, not even that. 6 kobolds. 6, 12. Can't do my math right. 12 kobolds. No, I don't think a first level character, just a single first level character killing 12 kobolds should not level you up. That's just too fast. That's way too fast. That's stupid. I mean, no other edition of D&D leveled you up this fast. No. Mike's my best friend. We were playing D&D the other night, and I kind of expressed my concern to him. I said, Mike, you guys are leveling up way too fast. 2 levels in one night that's just ludicrous. That's just stupid. And you know what he said? I didn't even have to suggest it. He said, Derek, this is what you should do. You should make it higher. Make those experience points much higher because this is way too fast. He said, I agree. This is way too fast. Not like when I used to play D&D back in the day. It took us 3 months before we got to second level. Exactly. And, he goes, and back in the day when we were playing D&D, it was so exciting because it was a struggle. If you're first level for that long, there's a good chance you're going to die. I've never seen anybody die in 5th edition. Death saving throws. Why do they do that? They don't want to hurt anybody's sensitive emotions. I think what they were doing, and I could be way off base on this, but I think what they're doing is they're making the game less controversial, or I should say, that might not be the word I'm looking for. They're trying to make the game more politically correct, less painful. There it is. That's a good word. Less painful for players and referees. They're trying to take all the struggle away from the players and the referees. So it's not hard to level. You don't die. The referee doesn't have to keep track of experience points. Monsters, you don't have to worry about your characters getting killed and having to make new characters in the game because death saving throws. So what winds up happening is that's what happens. You're like, man, whatever. It's just whatever. So if you make it more of a struggle, and I tell people this all the time, if you make it more of a struggle, you'll only get players that are willing to struggle. Is that a good thing? Well, it depends on what kind of game or what kind of friends you have and how you want to run the game. But if you make a game so easy that anybody can play, then anybody will play. And what you'll get is players, they don't care about being there. They're not going to say, man, I really want to go to the game, man. No, you're not going to get that. You'll be like, yeah, whatever. It's Wednesday night. I'll show up or I won't. Whatever. And that's not the kind of player you want. You want the guys that are saying, man, luckily, the way I'm running my game, nobody said that. Everybody's like, man, we're so eager to play the game and it's enjoyable, blah, blah, blah. That's a testament to me overcoming the downsides of D&D 5e. But I'm still going to tell you D&D 5e is probably the best edition out of all of them. It's better. I know a lot of people say Pathfinder and 3.5 and blah, blah, blah. No, I don't think so. Too many rules. They've taken a lot of the rules out, making it easy for the referee. I like the fact that it's making it easier on me as a referee. I don't like the fact that it makes it easy on the players. If I was a player, would I want it to be easy on me? No. No. I want to have to think like, do I really want to go in that cave and attack that dragon? Hell no. Or do it, or yeah, yes, depending on what kind of magic items he has or whatever. You know, it's like right now there's not even a consideration. It's like, oh, it's a dragon. Okay, we'll attack it. Whatever. We can't die. I mean, if I get knocked down, just come over and cast Cure Light Wounds on me, and I won't bleed out. That's the subject of a whole nother video, but right now we're just talking about experience. Okay, I'm going to recap a little bit because I pretty much said everything. I kind of bounced around a little bit. Too easy to level up. It's too easy. Players don't want. They just don't. They might say they want to level up, but really, you as a referee, you know what's best for your players. Don't level them up. Don't use the milestone system or whatever it's called. If you don't want the hassle of tracking experience points and stuff like that, sometimes it's good to say, sorry, sometimes it's good to tell one of your players, hey, Mike or Adam or Trent or whoever is in your game that you think might be really good at math, say, hey, can you do me a favor? Track some experience points for me for all the players. Well, put it in their hands. Why not? When you go, oh yeah, you just killed 25 kobolds. They were all 25 experience points each. Figure it out. So what he'll do is he'll do the math. He'll divide by all the players, and boom. And guess what you had to do as a referee? You didn't even have to do it. Let them keep track of it. It puts like a little bit of the control in the players' hands, and the players love that. They love. We got a guy over here keeping track of something. We got a guy over here keeping track of something. That's the best way. Like you got a guy over here keeping track of the party treasure. They got a guy over here keeping track of the party experience points. Why not? You don't have to keep it all secret. You know, ooh, I'm gonna keep it all. No, they know. They know who they've killed. You say, hey, this guy over here, he gets 25 bonus experience points. You're tracking it. Write it down. Right? Okay. I do recommend that. Get a timekeeper. I mean, a experience points keeper. I don't like the fact that you level up way too fast. I think we should change the thresholds to something a little bit more, to a little slower. 300's way too fast. 300 and times 3, way too fast. The monsters, with their challenge ratings and the number of experience points that they provide, that's still okay, because you don't want to do a double negative. If you're going to change your leveling up target numbers, like the 300, you're going to change it to 1,000, don't also say that a creature that normally gives you 100 now only gives you 50, because if you do that, you basically just made that 1,000 2,000 because you halved how much experience points the creatures are giving. Don't do that. So don't adjust both sides of the scale. Just adjust one side, the number of experience points needed, and leave everything else the same, or leave the target number the same and lower the what you get from each thing. But that's harder. So it's easier just to target. Another thing, what Mike suggested was just pull out your second edition book and tell them that's the number of experience points they need. And then I thought about it. I was like, no, that's going to be way too much work, because in that edition, every different class had different numbers for their levels, which I think is kind of stupid. I think you should just go with the like the current edition. Each number gets you a level. Doesn't matter what your class is. I think that's the best way to go with experience points. Okay, don't do the threshold. Don't do the milestone, because it could wind up biting you like it did me. You might have a milestone set up and they bypass everything and get to the end, and then they level up, and that just doesn't make sense. So don't do that. Use the experience points whenever you get a chance. Use a experience point tracker. Use a player to do that. Also, what else? pretty much it, really, for the experience points and leveling. And that's basically my rundown on D&D 5e's experience. It didn't really explain the experience point system. It just told you what I think was wrong with it and how you could possibly change it. And as a referee, you can just say Derek doesn't know what he's talking about, and you can just run straight out of the book, or you can make some changes, or you can not make changes. But what I recommend doing is, if you do make changes, let the players know that you've done that. Okay, so don't just make changes and then don't let them know. Let them know. And the best way to make changes is at the start of a campaign and not in the middle of a campaign. So when if you guys are already halfway through a campaign, don't make any changes. Just let it finish out, and when it's done and you retire those characters and you're going to start a new campaign, then let them know, hey, we're not going to do it that way anymore. We're starting completely fresh. Boom. That's what we're going to do. And that's basically it. And I appreciate you guys coming out and checking out this video about D&D 5e. I think my next video is going to be on Horde of the Dragon Queen. I think I'm not going to go into details. I'm just going to give you an overview and a review of that, and why I think it's good. I love the campaign. And why I think it's bad. I hate the damn campaign. But it's cool. It's actually there's some referees out there that say that it's that railroads you at the very beginning to fight a dragon or whatever. They don't know what they're talking about. Just watch my review and I'll kind of explain all that. Explain why their other refs are stupid for saying that, or maybe they just don't understand. Maybe they just read the first chapter and they said, "Yeah, this is stupid." No, well, I'll explain it. Not in detail because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. Don't want to ruin any spoilers or anything. But it is a really good campaign. That's what I'm going to do next. And if you want to support the channel, please do. At the bottom of the page, I think there's a possible to donate. I think the button is like right about there, I think, is where this button is. If you click that, I think it'll take you to my channel, and I think you can donate there. If not, talk to me, because we can always use some donations. I need a new mic, I need a new camera, I need some new green screen. Help out the channel. All right, and other than that, have fun playing D&D.